do you have a definition of success?
I do. There is a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it's a longer quote, but the last sentence says, "To know that even one life has breathed easier because you've existed, that is to have succeeded." And that is my definition of success.
From Cape to Cairo,
Madagascar to Morocco,
you're traveling on the airwaves of Power 8 Radio.
Okay, so hello and welcome to PAR Real Talk, so Power 8 Radio Real Talk, where we showcase lots of different topics. And today we have with us, I will introduce you. This is Dawn Witte, because this is your second time on being on the show. So how are you doing, Dawn?
I'm great. Thank you for having me back again.
You're most welcome. And let's dive straight in. And I'll get you to actually give us a little bit for those that haven't caught up on the first episode, which they should. Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do, please.
Well, my name's Dawn Airhart Witte. I am an author, a speaker. I have a foundation called the Desire to Inspire Foundation. And my favorite title in everything I've ever done is being a mom.
Perfect. That's great. And where are you from?
I live in Los Angeles.
Super. That's great. So, hey, we're global on Power 8 Radio. And so let's go straight into it. So you've written a new book. I hope from last time to now, there's been a lot. But you've got a new book for children. Is that right?
I do. It's I released a book called Believe, a collection of faith, hope, and love in November. And after that, I said I need to do a children's book. So it's the Little Book of Believe. And I wrote it for children just to let them know to believe in themselves and that there's greatness within them, and that they can do anything that they put their mind to. So that just came out last month.
Sorry, Dawn, I'm going to check my sound again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Because I kind of lost you halfway through the thing, but I'm sure it's fine. So so this book you've written about the children. Sorry, I need you to go through that bit again because I lost you there. So what was it about?
Well, it's called The Little Book of Believe. I actually have it right next to me. And it is, I wrote it for children to believe in themselves, to believe that there is greatness within them, to believe that there's something beyond us, what we can see in the physical world. Let them know that they're angels and that there's a divine power that's got them protected. Those kind of messages, to let them know that it's okay to be different, and, and to love people, to love the animals, to love nature. So it's short. It's written for younger children, but I love it.
Well, because as you're saying, it's written for younger children, I'm thinking, well, that sounds like my sort of book. So you obviously were dealing with more adult stuff, being inspired, more what we would all relate to. But now you've gone into the children stuff, which we're still relating to, because the inner child never leaves. What got you to the transition? Or is it just a side?
I love children. And I feel like I can relate to children more easily than I can relate to adults a lot of times. So I feel like when a child has that notion that they're special and there's something that they are here to do on this earth, then the things that happen to them in life aren't going to pierce and wound their souls as much, because they're going to believe in themselves. And so to implant those seeds in their heads when they're young, I feel like it's an armor for them going into the world. You're going to experience different struggles and challenges, but when you're who you are and you believe in yourself, those challenges aren't going to hurt you as much.
No, absolutely. No, I get where you're coming from. And if you don't start from that early age, I think that's usually the problem, because we focus on everything that is meant to be okay. you go to school, you do this, these are the routines, and we actually forget about this bit, about building their confidence to go, yeah, you can be anything you want to be. It's those little things. So thank you so much for writing that book. And let me just go into obviously this desire to inspire. What is the general idea behind it?
Well, when I first started Desire to Inspire, you turn on the news and you see negative story, fires, murder all the time. You're just we as a society are bombarded with negative news. And I'm like, but in the world, the people that I know people that are rescuing dogs, people that are helping cancer patients, people that are, helping unwed mothers. And I was like, I want to share those stories with people. I want people to know that there are good people doing amazing things in the world. And then I went to Africa shortly after I started. And I mean, talk about inspiration. Mama Josephine in Uganda, I've said this a million times and I'll say it a million more. This woman doesn't know how she's going to feed her own self, but she's taken in 67 children and she raises them with so much love and care. And Susan in Sierra Leone, when I met her, she was 23 and she was taking care of 31 girls, and they all slept in one room. And I thought those stories, I need people to hear those stories because as they're facing these really hard challenges, water, clean water and food on a daily basis, they still have this compassion and love in their hearts for children and to help one another. And I wanted to share those stories while also helping them get the clean water, helping them get the food, helping them believe in themselves and offer them opportunities so that they don't have to ask for help anymore. They can be the change they wish to see in the world.
No, that's beautiful. Because I just needed that summary of the recap of it because it's such a positive story that yeah, I could hear you say all over again. Oh, I won't. I won't get you to say it. Well, so I suppose the next question really is how can people support you in your cause? Like how do you raise funding? Obviously, things are not cheap. So
yeah. Well, so I've been a volunteer. When I was raising my girls, I volunteered for everything. And I was always raising funds for PTA, for soccer, for, different organizations. And so instead of asking, going the traditional donation route, which people can still do, donations are always lovely, but I wanted to create something where people could buy products and that would help me raise the funds. So I created the beelineproducts.com, my e-commerce site, and we have t-shirts and sweatshirts with, inspirational sayings. I've got a fragrance, I've got body butters, things like that. So when people buy these, they're not just getting a product, but they're supporting a bigger mission.
Absolutely, no, that's great. And yeah, so what are the social handles? Shall we put it? What should we search for to make sure?
I can't even talk. Desire to Inspire Foundation.org. You can see pictures of our beautiful children and read about some of the work that we've done. And the e-commerce site is thebeelineproducts.com. It's the beelineproducts.com.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you so much. We'll be sure to go and check that out. And so going through obviously the website, you have different people doing different things. So you're the founder of Desire to Inspire. But so you have like Deborah Lewis, Andrew, is it Fomento?
Yes, that's my board.
Yes. So all of these people obviously believe in your in what you're trying to convey out. How do you go about selecting your team?
Oh, I think divine, God puts people in my life all of the time to help me do the work. The connections that I've made over the last 7 years, I can't explain it. I know people all over Africa now. I have friends in India. I think it's divine. It's just something outside of me. And I can't really explain it other than, like attracts like. And people find me and they believe in my mission and they believe in me. And that's what I want to help other people do, is to believe in themselves.
No, that's great. And so you did cover my question, but so if somebody comes in and go, oh yeah, I'd like to help you do this, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. How do you separate? Because I'm reading about those people on your website, they sound fantastic that you actually do have a solid team. Well, I know it can't be easy to. I'm sure there's so many more people that you've said no, not you, not you, not you, not you. How do you go through that process?
I don't think I've ever said no to people that want to be of service. But what I do say to people that I do work with, no matter what capacity, whether I'm helping them or they're helping me, I'm going to always be honest with you. You always have to be honest with me. And if I've heard that you're dishonest to somebody else, that also is a no, because your integrity and your character, that matters. And so those are the people that I look for, people who want to make a difference in the world and people who have impeccable character. Doesn't mean that they don't do silly things or whatever, but I mean, honesty and goodness, kindness, those are the qualities I look for.
Super, that's great. So yeah, because these are very important things, especially for myself. I'm an entrepreneur doing, this. So it's those things, those answers help somebody like me, myself, and I'm sure so many other people that are watching. So thank you so much for that. And so we've obviously gone through our first interview. This the second part. So do you think your priorities have changed through that time? Maybe from even when you started till now, do you think your priorities have changed?
In my own personal life, I feel like, yeah, my priorities have changed as far as, material things don't really matter to me so much. I'm very focused on love and, making an impact. But those have always been important to me, but they're even more important to me now because I understand that that is what life is all about. At the end of our days, we don't get to take things with us, but we do get to keep that love. And that love is the thing that stays. So those are my priorities. They always have been, but even more so now.
No, that's perfect. And how do you go about separating? So you're very busy woman, with being an entrepreneur anyways, constant job. And then you're a mom, you got a family. How do you do the balance, the work-life balance?
Well, my daughters are adults. My oldest is going to be 33 in 2 days. In 2 days. No, tomorrow. I think she's turning 33 tomorrow. So I don't have little children. I'm not married. And this is my work is my passion and my hobby too. So I just pour myself into all of the projects that I have because that's why I'm here, to leave a legacy. And I want my legacy to make a profound difference on people. I want people to know that they are loved, that they matter, and that they're significant and they are here for a reason. And so my priorities are always my work, but because I don't have to cook dinner for little children. I don't have to clean up after little kids. I have 2 dogs and a tortoise. They don't take that much of my time, but so it's again, my work is my hobby. It is my passion. It is why I exist. So I don't really think of it as work. I think of it as fun.
That's great. Because there's that saying that when what you think and what you do and there were 3 things, if they all align, then you're truly a happy person. So yeah, no, I like that answer. Thank you so much for that. And let's go into kind of my next question as to, so how do you define success? Especially in this line of work where it seems like it's never ending. There's always going to be something to do. There's always going to be somebody to help. Do you have a definition of success?
I do. There is a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it's a longer quote, but the last sentence says, "To know that even one life has breathed easier because you've existed, that is to have succeeded." And that is my definition of success. To know that I've touched someone's life, I've made somebody feel seen, feel heard, feel like they matter. That is what success means to me. I don't measure it in dollars.
That is, yeah, that is really deep. Of course, so it's just so that every time you add to it, you successfully gain. Does that summarize the answer? No, that's a beautiful saying. That's a really beautiful saying. And so what is next in the pipeline?
Oh, well, I haven't been to Africa in 2 years because of COVID and everything that was going on in the world. So I get to go back in July, and I am very excited because I miss my kids. And so, I'm just plugging away, getting my books out there, doing some speaking engagements. And I'm working on a course. I've been working on it for a couple of years called The Secrets of Being. And I want to help everybody realize their own potential. I think that there was a time in my life where I didn't think I had much value to add to the world, and I want to help those people get on that path where they find something that they're passionate about and they go for it. They do the scary things, and I want to change lives in that way. So I'm working on that. That should be out sometime this year. I just need to put it out there. So that's what I'm working on currently.
That is really great. And if we wanted to reach you, what is the best way for people to contact you?
They can find me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Dawn Airhart Witte. I'm on LinkedIn. They can reach out through the Desire to Inspire Foundation.org website. And I love connecting with people all around the world. So please feel free to reach out. Friend request me, and I always accept my friend requests. I love to be connected to people.
That's great. Thank you so much for the answer. And because it just won't be a complete interview if I don't ask one of my random questions. And so, okay, for you, Dawn, if you were given an elephant and you can't give it away, what would you do with it?
Okay, say that one more time. If I was given what?
An elephant and you can't give it away.
I would keep it in my house.
Is your house big enough for an elephant?
I would make it big enough. I love animals. So yeah, I would take an elephant and I would keep it. And I would love it. And it would probably sleep in my bedroom.
Perfect. So we'll make sure it's a mini size elephant, right?
Maybe a mini elephant. And you know what? And any of my friends, everybody that knows me knows that that's exactly what I would do.
You just keep and go. So you're researching into how to keep an elephant. That's very interesting. So well done. It's been a short and sweet one. Thank you so much again for coming on the show. So is there any closing remarks from you to the viewers?
I always love closing interviews by saying this: you don't have to go to another country and feed children to make a difference in the world. Every interaction we have with every person we encounter, we can make the world a better place by smiling, by saying hello, by lending a shoulder, for somebody to lean on. So we all have the power to make the world a better place.
It's so great. Thank you so much for that. Remarks. Yeah, until we meet again, Dawn, it's been such a pleasure as usual. And yeah, hope to catch up again pretty soon. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Power Ace Radio.